Hey everybody, it's me Edward Jones back with a new video, and this is I think this is my first viewer request. I'm gonna give a shout out to Daniel Nixon for his donation on the Cash App. It's greatly appreciated. He sent me an email I guess about a night ago. He asked me a few questions on various topics, and I had to make some notes so I can refer to each question that I was being asked. And again, if you guys have any requests for things that you want me to talk about, any topics, just send me an email. My email is em1897jones@gmail.com, and send me an email request. I know I got a request in the comment section about about me welding, which I do plan on doing that as soon as I get my welder back from work. It's in the back of the truck right now. Uh, on grilling steak is another one I had a request for. I might be able to do a cooking video. Something I can do outdoors on the rocket stove. But I'm gonna adjust the questions that Daniel Nixon sent me. The first one was about my thoughts on suppressors and large caliber weapons. Um, I'm cool with suppressors. I think they're very useful. Especially if you're shooting in enclosed areas. You want to have greater protection for your hearing. I think suppressors are a great tool to have. I like firearms that have an integral suppressor, so that one that the barrel is also a suppressor in itself. The Delisle, I think it's called the Delisle's carbine that was made in the UK. It's like I know it has a SMLE stock and uses 1911 magazines, and the whole barrel is one big suppressor. I think that's a pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool carbine. So things like that are pretty cool. I think there was one made by Ruger. It's a Ruger Mark. I think a Ruger Mark III that has an integral suppressed barrel. That's another thing. That's another idea. I think that's pretty cool. And as far as large caliber weapons, I like them. I carry a 45 ACP as my EDC, and I still have the 50 Beowulf AR-15, one of the wood furniture from that, based off the survivalist rifle from Fallout New Vegas, which is still an excellent game. It gets a lot of references, especially for those who are Marty Robbins fans. um, I think that game has really put put the interest of firearms in a lot of young people. The game came out maybe 10 years ago. No, I think a little bit over 10 years. It came out in 2010, so 13 years ago. And a lot of young people got into firearms because of that game. Um, and that was one of the things that was one of my motivations behind making the survivalist rifle, which is used as 50 Beowulf. So large caliber firearms, I think they're cool. I hope to someday have either a 44, someday maybe a 44 Magnum, made by either Smith and Wesson or Ruger. And I someday would like to have. I don't know how probable this is, but a 4570 government revolver. I shot one before. One of my Magnum researches, one of their BFRs. I shot a 4570 revolver, and it was a great experience. And I like to someday own one. So I think large caliber firearms are excellent. If you can handle them, it's cool. Go ahead and buy them. I think it's something that if I think it's something that you kind of have to work your way up to because of the recoil and because of the weight that they tend to need to tame the recoil. So there's that. Do I own a suppressor? No, I don't. I don't own any suppressors. I have some friends that that try to talk me into getting a suppressor, but I haven't purchased one. Will I ever buy one? If they become if they become de- if they are deregulated, I'll buy one. I have some 22s, and 45 ACP is excellent suppressed. So that's my personal taste. That's my personal feelings on the matter. If they become deregulated, where I can buy them like any other piece of hardware, then then I will own a suppressor. But as things stand right now, it's unlikely that I would ever sign up to get one. My thoughts on ammo prices. So starting next year, right at the beginning of next year, ammo prices are supposed to go up. I think the percentages were somewhere between 3 and 5% for different calibers, and I'm not at all surprised. Things have been going up a lot, over the past 2 years. with the way the economy has been mismanaged, it's to be expected that prices will go up. I think there's been a good run on ammo prices being somewhat low, but from all the crap that's been going on with things in Ukraine and now things in Israel, I guess we can expect prices to go up on across the board, especially with with NATO calibers like 5.56, 9 millimeter, 7.62 by 51 NATO. So I think it's inevitable, unless we get a really good economy where the prices can come down. But it's also a matter of demand. So it's not only a matter of the government having a greater demand for ammunition, but demand has also been going up on the civilian market. So if you're concerned about ammo prices going up, whether you can afford them, I say always look out for deals. Find ways you can. I still say find ways you can buy in bulk. If you can't buy in bulk, whenever you go out, pick up a box of ammo. Just like a one box of 9 millimeter. Where I get my 9 millimeter from, it's typically around $11.99 a box. I remember back in the days where it used to be, back when I was really getting into buying ammunition, 9 mil was around. It was $9.99 was like the standard. The 45 ACP was somewhere around $15.99. That's still somewhat bounced around. Then I remember you used to get around $18.99 and $20, $21.99, things like that. Some brands of 45 ACP, some brands of 9 millimeter were around $15. Steel case used to be my favorite to buy. I ran it in my ARs, ran it through my 1911, ran it through my Browning High Powers. Never had an issue with steel case ammunition. Um, but uh, but yeah, it's something that's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna have. I don't think it's gonna have too big. I mean, this is my prediction. I don't think it's gonna have too big of an impact on how people buy ammunition. I think people are just gonna be very selective as to what brands they buy. Um, Whether people will start reloading is beyond me. I know that question. I used to get that question a lot. When I reload, how much money am I saving? And I learned that it's not so much that I'm saving money by reloading, but as I have ammunition available whenever I need it. So when all the mess was going on in 2020, I managed to get primers through the various private sales, and I managed to get ammunition through just through word of mouth from people that I knew that had stuff they wanted to sell. And I remember one guy, a coworker, I bought I think 500 rounds of 9 millimeter from him, and I didn't really need it, but I figured if he didn't want it and if he was willing to sell it, I had cash and I bought it from him. Um, those are some of the ways I've managed to get through the times when ammunition prices have been going up. I kind of always had this standard. I didn't want to spend over a certain cent amount per round. So I think so for many years it was I didn't want to spend more than 50 cents per round for 5.56 or 2.23. That's just that was the standard I came up with in 2012 when the mess really kicked off. When everyone was buying things and paying, a lot of new gun owners are paying really high amounts for things that were once very cheap. So I think as far as ammo prices are concerned, they're bound to go up. Not a lot. Like I said, from my understanding, is somewhere between 3 and 5%. Um, but still, I still encourage people to buy whenever you can. Buy what you can afford. There's no need to. I don't think there's any need right now to break your neck. Fill up an ammo cabinet. But still, when you can't afford a box or two, go ahead and purchase it. And night vision. Now, I don't own any night vision. I know that's one of the things that's I've always come up in prepper conversations and SHTF conversations about night vision. Uh, Night vision has gotten a lot more affordable. I think if you feel as if you need night vision as part of your loadout, if you can afford it, go ahead and buy it. Do I think it's useful? Yeah, there's a use for every tool that's out there. I personally don't have night vision. Um, I guess I really haven't foreseen a need for it, but I guess if I see, if I saw one I can afford that I thought was worth putting money into, then yeah, I'd buy it. But as me personally, I don't have a need for it. But if you do, and you can afford it, go ahead and I say go ahead and purchase it. I think night vision is awesome. Um, like I said, if you find it, if you think there's a need for it, go ahead and if you can afford it, go ahead and buy it. And I always want to include that can you afford it, because I'm very wary about debt. I understand I understand people are if you're new to, let's say if you're new to getting into guns, or you want to get more into preparedness. There is no need to put yourself in deep debt in order to accomplish that. I think a lot of the stuff that you can do that's very affordable is information gathering. You know, reading articles, checking out blogs, watching videos, comparing the information that you get from these sources of media, and make a realistic assessment as to whether it's whether you want to incorporate into your own personal preps, or things that you may want to build up on that you already have done. But I just don't think that it's wise to put yourself in a hole. Even if you think that even if you think the world's going to end, the world as we know it is going to end tomorrow, or who knows however long, it's not wise to put yourself in more debt. Because at some point, I think that at some point those habits of acquiring debt can get you into trouble, whether it's something to deal with money or favors that you owe people. You don't want to make it a habit of abusing credit, whether it be with money or with a personal credit you have with someone else, especially with your own personal reputation. A good reputation can be ruined by one stupid act. So be very cautious about what kind of deals you make that's available out there. And the last question that Daryl Nixon had for me was about my rabbit. So if you guys saw the picture from the Doom from the 30th anniversary of Doom, in the thumbnail, I had a picture of the Stevens 820B shotgun that I own, and you saw a rabbit. So I do have a rabbit. I have a Flemish mixed breed, um, big brown rabbit. It looks like and not massive, but it's pretty big, about as big as my dog. Which I have a small dog, and the rabbit. Her name is Phoebe. I call her Loaf, or just Rabbit, and she bounced around the room, chews on things. The last thing she chewed on that really got me frustrated was a charger cable, one of the flat gray ones for the turbocharge. She chewed clean through it. She chewed baseboards. She chewed up a stock for a Mossberg 500 20 gauge. That didn't belong to me, but the person who did belong to, they didn't really mind it. Uh, what else did she chew? She chewed my sling, like I mentioned in the previous video. She chewed right through a leather sling I had for my high standard riot shotgun. And I later replaced it with the N1 Garand sling, which I think it was actually an improvement, because that leather sling I had before was kind of rough. It was beat up when I got from a pawn shop. And currently I'm building a hutch. I bought a hutch that was basically salvaged. I had to do some work on it, but I'm gonna put the rabbit in the hutch outside. Maybe when it gets a little bit warmer, I'll do that, because right now it's pretty cold. Um, I'm not sure if the rabbit can handle the cold, but rabbits are used to living outdoors, so who knows? So I guess as soon as I get some more information on that, then I'll make a final decision. But until then, she stays in a kennel in the room. I do let her out. She does chew on paper that I have. I'll leave out for her. Um, but I just don't like. I just get tired of some of my valuables getting chewed up. So I guess when it comes to the territory of having a rabbit, I've been bitten once, and it didn't really bother me too much. She has tried to bite bite my feet when I was wearing some Crocs a while back. But the rabbit, she had to chew on things. They do that for their teeth. You know, they gotta keep their teeth from getting overgrown, so they chew on things. I think it's rather I just like to find a method for her to utilize, instead of chewing on my valuables. But I think it's cool to have. I think it's rabbit's a cool pet to have around. poop all over the place. But their poop dry. It's pretty dry. It looks like cocoa puffs, but it's easy to sweep up. But typically, what I've been doing for a few months is I actually have a small bin that she can actually that's full of dirt. And my wife told me about putting some Timothy hay inside of it so that she can graze, because rabbits graze on their own poop, but she can graze on that while keeping her business in one area. So I try to utilize that method to keep the cleanup to a minimum. But that's my video. And I have on the subject of a rabbit. I have owned a rabbit before. Uh, her name was Debbie. She was a lion head, and she was black and white. Cool looking rabbit. It was kind of weird looking, but I thought she was pretty awesome. One day she actually escaped, and a few days later she came back. She just came back for whatever reason. But I think rabbits are cool pets, as long as you're not, like I said, as long as you're not destroying your stuff. But that's my video. Hope Daniel Nixon. Hope you're satisfied with these with these answers. Like I said, if you guys have any other questions that any things you want me to talk about, just send me an email. Again, my email is em1897jones@gmail.com. I'm interested to see what kind of comments you guys are going to leave in this video, and kind of questions you guys are going to send me through my email. Like I said, these questions are actually pretty interesting. That's my video. If you're new to the channel, please stay tuned for newer videos. Like, share, and subscribe. If you got any gripes, complaints about this video, send me a PM. I'll see what I can do to address them. That's my video. It's a viewer request for December 28th, 2023. I'm Edward Jones. You guys take care, be safe, stay strapped, and God bless.